I mean, my theory of why audiences are connecting so strongly with it is that beyond being a space movie, a space adventure, it's a movie about a very universal theme, which is adversities. I think in life we all go through adversities. So when you go as an audience to see the film, you get so engaged in the ride, and suddenly you start imposing your own adversities onto that debris. So I mean, that's I guess the reason we wanted to do a narrative in this concept, which is so stripped down.
If I might say it in another way, it's like your two main characters are in danger, and you wonder whether they're going to make it. Yeah, and this is overlaid by the fact that you're seeing space in a different way, and you get some sense of what it's like to be up there.
Yeah, well, part of the thing, and yes, part of the beauty or attraction for audiences is that getting immersed in that experience of space and feeling for them is to float in space. Yeah. But that had also a thematic function, is to, when we start writing the screenplay, we talk about, because we started, even before we decided it was going to be space, we just were talking about the themes. And thematically, it's about adversities and the possibility of rebirth. And when you go through adversities, you lose ground. You know, you can. I mean, it's all metaphorically, of course. You know, you lose ground. So here you have a character that is going through adversities, loses ground, and starts drifting into the void. You know, and getting farther away from human communication, victim of her own inertia and living in her own bubble. You know, so and I think that in many ways the audiences, when see the film, yes, they connect into the journey and to the roller coaster ride and into space, but also there's an emotional immediacy that I think is what has been, you know, working with audiences.
You said that you knew that the main character had to be a woman. How did you know?
Well, we wanted to make this story, since we started talking about the thematics, is a story of a character who's given up on life, kind of has lost all of that, like, force of fertility, of, like, life given, and through the journey that life will get rekindled. So we just knew we wanted to have this female presence, this presence of, like, life, you know. It's a movie where the backdrop is Earth throughout it, and for us, we always saw Earth as this force of life, this female force.
And also, there was, I would say it was very organic. We started writing, we started discussing. The first image was this image of an astronaut, just actually that one is spinning into the void. And the moment we start talking about it, we talk about it as a woman. And then when we start mapping the whole thing, we used to call her, we didn't have a name, and it was the woman. Yeah. And we called the woman. It was not until when we started developing the script that we questioned ourselves what it was a woman.
Image before you had your woman.
It was just an instinct. And it had to do with these ideas. We have been talking about ideas of rebirth and fertility and having the background of Earth as Mother Earth, and all, you know, suddenly everything was infused by female elements.
You have said that Sandra's performance you compared to a dance routine, meaning?
Use the approach that she had to take, because in order to achieve all these choreographies, because it's very complicated choreographies, Sandra had to go into a whole routine in which she had to hit very specific marks. She had to hit very specific timing, and on top of that, under very gruesome physical conditions. So it's not unlike a dancer who preps. She prepped for 5 months to do the whole thing. So not unlike a dancer that goes through a physical preparation and then going into memorizing very complicated routines. So in the moment in which you roll camera, the moment of performance for a dancer, it's just free just to explode with expression and emotion.
Oh, wow.
And that's what she was doing. It was brilliant to witness that.